I'd like to talk to you about innovation, applying and affecting change with a new idea to produce an economic or social benefit. And that's about as technical as I'm going to get right now. So Francis Bacon, the father of modern scientific method and modern thinking on innovation, wrote in his 1615 essay on innovations, "He that will not apply new remedies must expect new evils, for time is the great innovator." And that is so true. The thing that I really love about innovation is creativity is central to it. And that's something I'm passionate about as a writer, as a storyteller, and as a speaker. So, normally if you get somebody to talk about innovation, you go for somebody in the business world, a management consultant, a tech guy, a futurist. I'm an Australian historian. Why would you want to get me to talk about innovation? Well, you'd be truly innovative in making that choice. Kudos to you. People often ask why an Australian historian is interested in innovation, because historians spend a lot of their time looking in the rearview mirror of their 1934 Ford Ute, while tech and future people are projecting themselves into the future or looking for an app that will do it for them. But history and innovation go together like rugby league players and a night of nude dancing and projectile vomiting, because innovation is about change and history is about recording change and the reasons for it and allowing us to draw conclusions about the future. History isn't just useful in understanding innovation, but it also supports innovation, because every great idea is built on the great ideas or the failed ideas of those who have gone before. Sir Isaac Newton, the greatest innovator of the 17th century and perhaps all of history, said that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. So, what can an Australian historian tell you about innovation? Recently, I've had the privilege of working on an Australian documentary series on Australian innovations, both as a presenter and a writer researcher. And it's given me a much greater understanding on what makes innovation work, what makes it successful. And what I do in my talks, I do it in a humorous way, combining entertainment and fact. I look at some of the great innovations and inventors of Australian history. We've been at the forefront of innovation in a whole range of fields. Communication. It was Australians who gave the world prepaid postage, which revolutionised communication all over the world. We gave the world Wi-Fi. We've led the world in a range of democratic and social reforms. And if we look at our past, we can see all of these great achievements. And the reasons for that is that we as Australians have always explored our pool of social capital. The convicts, women in early Australian history had opportunities they would never have had anywhere else in the world. And they were able to bring their brains, bring their visions, and make Australia a better place. Australia is currently 11th in the world on innovation inputs, but is a real mid-level player when it comes to innovation outputs and efficiency. We're behind New Zealand on both of those counts, which frankly is a bit of a worry. We don't really get the way that government and science and business need to work together to maximise our innovative potential. And I believe that looking at what's been successful in the past through the lens of history, looking at what's worked, why it's worked, how it's worked, allows innovators today to come up with new ideas to make Australia the innovation nation that it deserves to be.